Hey, are these the worst parents ever? I would love to get some listener response on this.
Worst parent ever.
Well, all right, that's steep. All right.
Okay.
So it wouldn't be the worst parents, but are these really bad parents? Listen to this. If you're on vacation and you've got a baby, you have an infant, you have a baby, listen to what these parents did. This couple, they go on vacation. They have their 1-year-old that they took on a European vacation with them.
Okay.
They are in the hotel, but they go downstairs to the bar to hang out, the restaurant bar in the hotel. They left their 1-year-old in the room, and they just used the baby monitor to monitor the baby.
I think it's actually pretty responsible parenting. It's the most responsible, irresponsible parenting.
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't.
It's in the irresponsible category, but it's the most
So-
responsible you could be.
So it's the most responsible of the irresponsible.
Yeah, I mean, there's two rooms. Are they responsible or irresponsible? It's irresponsible. But they're the most responsible of all the irresponsible people.
So I guess there are baby monitors that work. You have to be a certain distance for the signal to work. But I guess there's some app-based baby monitors as well.
It pulls up on your phone.
Yeah,
you
so-
can walk around the block and
so-
still see your
Yeah,
kids.
so you don't have to have like the signal issue. You have to be close. So there are some app-based ones where all you need is an internet connection and you can monitor. So what are your thoughts on that? I mean, you just kind of said it's the most responsible of the irresponsible.
Yeah.
But does that qualify as like neglect?
No.
As far as, but hold on, hear me out here. So law enforcement, if you leave a child alone, there's certain ages, there are different statutes in different states. But if you leave a child unattended, you can be hit with a child endangerment charge. If you go down to the hotel bar and you're drinking it up good with your wife, you leave your 1-year-old alone, but you say, "Oh, but I've got the baby monitor set up, and if there's a problem, I can just go upstairs."
You make it back to your room in 5 minutes. You can make it back to your room probably faster than you'd get out of your recliner and go to your kid's room at your house.
Any thoughts on this, folks? Is this grossly irresponsible? Is this gross neglect? Would this be illegal in Florida to leave your infant or toddler or 1-year-old in this case alone?
I don't know.
But then you say, hey, but I set up the baby monitor. We can watch and hear what's going on while we're getting lit downstairs in the hotel bar.
You're probably actually paying more attention to the kid than you would if you were home and they were in their own room tucked away.
Any thoughts on this? 800-990-1047. Is this irresponsible? Is this gross negligence? Is this child endangerment if you set up the baby monitor? 800-990-1047. Let me hear from some parents here. Moms, dads. Hey, any law enforcement? What is your legal interpretation of this? Would this be a child endangerment charge for leaving a kid alone at a very, very young age? Is that a defense? Hey, but I had the baby monitor app set up. We were able to watch. 800-990-1047. So, irresponsible parents or somewhat responsible that they thought of the baby monitor.
All right, I just want to say, traveling with kids, like going on a vacation with kids sucks. Those little bastards go to bed at 8:45, and you're just sitting there looking at each other like, ugh, great.
Just leave them at home with grandma,
Just do
right?
something.
All right, 7:51 at the MJ Morning Show. Let's say hi to Erica in Largo. Hey, Erica in Largo, welcome to the MJ Morning Show.
Hey, MJ, Michelle, Fester, good morning.
Yeah, Michelle's traveling with Chloe, but that's a different story. All right, go ahead.
Oh, I apologize.
No, that's okay.
I apologize.
It's all right.
So I just wanted to say that in Florida, there's no age limit to where a child can be left alone. So with that being said, I feel, of course, a 1-year-old being left alone is very irresponsible, and I don't think I would trust to do that. But there is not a statute that says a certain age limit in Florida, so that's where there's kind of a gray area, I think. But
now, Erica, how do you know? Are you sure there's no? Like, there's got to be some age. Now, I thought there was like the babysitter rule that like an older sibling can watch the younger sibling beginning at a certain age. Is it like 11 or 12 or something? Or
from what I've read, there's no legal age in Florida to leave a child alone.
But what is the cutoff for child in the eyes of the law in Florida? That's the question. Hey, maybe someone in law enforcement knows. 800-990-1047, 800-990-1047. All right, Erica, so you think it's irresponsible?
Absolutely.
Thank you, Erica. Have a great one.
So I'm looking online, MJ, and the Department of Children and Families suggests ages.
Yeah, what is it?
I mean, the age they suggest is 12.
Yeah.
But, I mean,
I knew it was in that vicinity.
But it's not a law. It's just a
Interesting.
suggestion by the families.
Kristen is on I-4 somewhere. Can you put Kristen on hold? Andrew, Kristen on line 4 on I-4. Hi, Kristen. You're on the MJ Morning Show.
Good morning.
Hey, Kristen. Good morning. What's up?
I was just calling because I wanted to give my opinion on the question that you had this morning.
Yeah. What do you think?
So here's the thing. At first, when it was first said, I was like, wow, they are really irresponsible. However, as I'm driving, I'm thinking about it. What's the difference if you're in your house and you are, downstairs and your kid is upstairs, or you're out in the backyard and your kid's upstairs? Like, they had a monitor. They're watching, right?
I mean, the baby's sleeping.
All right, so you don't think there's a difference between your baby is sleeping in their bedroom down the hall and you're in the living room and you're monitoring versus maybe being 10 floors below while you're drinking in the hotel bar? You don't think there's a difference?
Well, again, you're drinking, if you're outside drinking in the backyard or downstairs, I don't know. To me, like Safta said, it's basically they're probably the most irresponsible parents. They're still monitoring them.
No, listen, hey, Kristen, that's why I'm taking phone calls, because you bring up a very interesting point that what's the difference if you're in your house versus the hotel? I would say that proximity of you being right down the hall in your own home is certainly better than being, 10 or 15 floors downstairs in the hotel bar.
And then you're on high alert. I mean, if my kid's belly aching and I'm in the recliner, I'm like, I'm not getting out of this chair. They'll shut up in a minute. Give him a minute. Don't worry about him. Let him cry himself to sleep. But here, if the baby's fussing, you're like, I'm going to run upstairs. I'll be back in a couple minutes if I can.
Kristen, hey, listen, good call. Good food for thought. Thank you, Kristen.
All right. Have a great day, guys.
Look at this. Monkey is on the phone in Lakeland.
What kind of name is that? Kind of parents
I don't know, but I like it. Hold on a minute. Line 6. Oh, hold on a minute. Let me grab. Hey, Monkey, hold on. Andrew says go to line 6 first. It's anonymous. I think it's law enforcement. Hold on. Anonymous is calling in from Pasco County. Hello, Anonymous.
Hello. Good morning.
Law enforcement?
No, Child Protective.
Oh, okay. Same thing as far as this conversation goes. So, former Child Protective Services for what, the state of Florida or county?
State of Florida.
All right. So what's the read on this?
So I know that there was a previous caller that mentioned the no age limit in state of Florida to stay home. However, there is a little bit of a caveat there. The child has to be responsible and have the ability to know what to do in case of an emergency. And obviously, a 1-year-old's not going to have that ability.
Right. The maturity of the child is the barometer.
Exactly. So, your 6-year-old may have the responsibility enough to know not to answer the door, and if there's a fire, to run out of the house and call 911. But I have seen where there's been 16-year-olds who didn't know what the heck to do if there was a fire in the house, and they're just like, I don't know, just call my mom.
All right. So, as former Child Protection Services for the state of Florida, what is your read The parents are on vacation. They leave the 1-year-old upstairs in the hotel room with a baby monitor, and they're downstairs in the hotel restaurant bar having fun. What's your read on that?
That is definitely cause for concern. We would have investigated that fully with influencing services for the family. We see it a lot in our more beachy areas in towns like Daytona, Panama City, areas like that. So it actually is a fairly regular issue in those areas, unfortunately.
Yep.
They think that it's okay because they either have a baby monitor or, well, they're sleeping, and if I was at home, it's the same thing. But the difference is if there's an emergency, they're not going to know until they go back to the hotel.
Yeah, and listen, if you're in the house and there's an emergency or the baby starts crying or is in distress, you're more likely to hear it in your own home than being downstairs at a hotel bar.
At home, you use baby monitors. I mean, you can hear audio on these things.
Yeah, or,
but you don't have as much background noise, and you can't just run up and leave a bar. You have to tell the bartender, hey, I need to close out my tab. And that's going to take however long. And then you have to run all the way back upstairs, take the elevator.
Yep.
And then by the time you get there, who knows? The baby could be unconscious, unresponsive. You don't know what could be happening.
Baby could be blue. Hey, Anonymous, good call. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
All right, look at that. Exactly what was Child Protective Services, former employee, state of Florida. Let me go back to Monkey.
Yeah.
Monkey in Lakeland. Hey, Monkey, welcome.
Ah, damn it. She changed my mind.
Well, hold on.
Whoa. The last caller?
She changed your mind. What were you going to say?
Absolutely.
And what did the caller do to change your mind?
Well, everything she said makes perfect sense. You know, running upstairs, by the time you get upstairs, it's going to take you a little bit.
All right, so listen, you were about to say that mom and dad getting blasted on Tito's vodka in the hotel lobby was okay because they had a baby monitor, and now you're changing your mind because of the last caller.
Correct, yeah. She gave me a very, very good perspective, you know, and that's valid. But, yeah, no, I was going to say my friend has a mansion, you know, and we went partying one time, and I left my I know how it feels because I understand you. Like, I know how it feels wrong leaving my baby in a mansion in the top room, the nice little rooms, and I'm downstairs, and it felt kind of uncomfortable, but I had a baby monitor.
Yep.
So I was kind of comparing it to that, you know, but after everything she said, it's like, nah, I take it back.
All right, thank you. All right, 3 more calls here. Thank you, Monkey. Let me grab Jason in Umatilla. It's been a while since we got a call from Umatilla. Jason, you're on the MJ Morning Show. Hi.
All right, so I get the whole perspective of the young lady that called in, but what I'm going towards is what kind of baby monitor was this? And that's a hell of a marketing aspect, if you ask me.
You mean leave your baby upstairs while you get loaded and just use our...
No, completely wrong. But whoever owns these baby monitors, you know they're going to get a spike in sales.
Yeah. And again, listen, you have different baby monitors. I believe they had an app-based internet monitor where they were able to, I guess, monitor via their phone because they would have been out of range of a normal baby monitor, you know, that you have in your house. Jason, thanks for the call. 8 o'clock. I've got 2 more calls. Tracy in Maryland. I'm going to wrap up with you, then we're going to move on. All right, let me grab Tracy in Tampa. Tracy, you're on the MJ Morning Show. Hi.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yeah, loud and clear. Go ahead.
Good morning. Long-time listener, first-time caller.
Thank you.
Thank you. I'm a nurse, actually, a registered nurse, and I agreed with the woman from the state, the Child Protective Service lady,
right,
that you should never leave a child unattended, especially a 1-year-old child.
Yep.
That child cannot make decisions on their own. That child is unaware of their surroundings. And it doesn't matter if they're in the bed sleeping or not. You are in an environment where you cannot hear. They are down in a bar. It's not like they're in the next room sleeping.
Yeah, and I think that's the delineation. Tracy, thanks for the call. I appreciate it. Marilyn, Wesley Chapel, and Andrew added one more here. So hold on. Marilyn, then Tammy. Marilyn, MJ Morning Show, go.
Good morning, Fester. Good morning, MJ.
Hey.
I think that it is highly irresponsible. Once you have kids, it stops being about you and starts being about your children. You know,
No,
everything
look at all
you do, you do
killjoys.
around them. You don't. It's not about doing what you want to do. You chose.
Yeah, I mean, so surprise, you have kids, it changes your lifestyle.
Exactly. And
Surprise.
you hear everything you do around them.
Okay, Marilyn, easy now. Sounds like
No,
you've been.
hold on, Fessa. Why
She's
you
coming in really hot.
Hold on, what do you mean she's coming?
All
Why are
I'm
you
saying-
picking a fight?
I'm not picking. I'm just pointing out that. Listen, take a pill.
No,
calm down.
I get what you're saying, okay, but I'm the mom of 5 children. And I'll tell you right now, when I had my kids, everything I did, vacations, anything, outings, all of that went around my children. I stopped it being about me and doing what I want and doing what was right for my children. And if that means I stop going to bars, then that's what I do.
Yeah, Marilyn would drink in front of her children. You kids sit right there and you watch mommy get tanked up.
Fessa,
You
what?
right about that, but at least I'm there to take care of them if they need me.
So he is right. You were getting tanked up in front of your kids.
If you need,
I don't get tanked up, but yeah, if I
Were you blowing 3 packs of Camel smoke in their face as well?
do what?
Nothing.
All right, Marilyn, thank you for calling.
Marilyn, we appreciate you calling.
Okay.
Thank you, Marilyn.
Okay, bye.
All right, just ignore Fester. All right, one last call, then we got to move. We're gonna open the box up next here. What's in the box? What's in the box? Tammy, Tampa. All right, last call, final say on this. If you're just tuning in, I had an item about husband and wife leave their 1-year-old baby in the hotel room, and they go party it up in the hotel bar downstairs, and they're like, "Well, we've got a baby monitor." Tammy, final thoughts on this? Go.
Yes, I was actually going to say that's what happened to the little British girl, Madeline McMahon. I don't know how old she was at the time, but allegedly her parents left her in the hotel with a baby monitor and went down to the hotel lobby.
Oh, that's right. Was that that was in Spain, right? Yeah.
I don't remember.
Yeah, baby. Where was
I
that?
think it was in 2004 or something.
Yeah, hang on.
I want to say in
Yeah, and it's like every year there's some new alleged lead, and I don't.
Right,
Did they ever find out exactly who it was? Portugal.
No,
So
they never did.
yeah. All right. So here's it. Madeline Beth McCann is a British missing person. At the age of 3, disappeared from her bed in a holiday apartment in Praia da Luz Lagos,
somewhere in Portugal.
In Portugal, on the evening of May 3rd, 2007. Yeah, and it's reported as the most heavily reported missing person case in modern history is the disappearance of Madeline McCann. So you're saying that the parents, I don't remember all the details, but they left. I know they left her alone, but you're saying that they left her alone to have adult entertainment
Yeah,
time?
they were in the hotel lobby.
Wow.
Or somewhere on the premises of the hotel.
Wow.
But because of that, I wouldn't either because, I mean, I just wouldn't.
That is a good final call. Thank you for calling in. Thanks, Andrew, for putting that through. Hope you liked the video. If you did, then hit the like, share, subscribe, all this crap down here.